Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and it is Sunday afternoon, so that means we are Scraplift Craftenooning. That's right, it's Tara's tribe are getting together, and this week we're scraplifting Janine Ross here. Look at this double layout. It is a great layout to work with. At first I was like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I wasn't sure what theme to go with, and then I found the photos of a recent event and I thought they are perfect for this. So I'm going with the colours of Thomas the Tank. That's right, Thomas the Tank Engine. And the reason is the photos are of myself with my daughters, and we were having fun riding the kiddie ride before we went in to see Snow White the movie. Yes, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. So in hers, she has got two main pieces of paper, which I have chosen here with the red, and I've cut it at 5 and 7 by 12. I went ahead and pre-matted my photos. Now my photos are a different size to hers, of course. I always have the wrong size photos, but that's okay. And I have matted them up to match similarly, and I will fill the blank space with appropriate embellishments. Now, I like that I've got this double-sided blue, so that's why I have split it the way I've split it, because I don't want to cover it in behind the photos. There's no point. And besides that, I want to use the reverse side for the circles that she has on her border. So I am just cutting in this lemon and white stripe, or yellow and white stripe. This is a pink fresh paper, and I'm using that to add as the strip border that she has on her layout. And I'm making sure that I have the correct size, and that will help to build my layout and bulk it up. So what I'm doing here now is I'm just getting ready to match this photo board onto the page, and then I can put down the yellow and white strip, and that will create the border that is lined by the circles, which I will show as I work through the process. Now this is a double page layout, and I'm working on each individually due to the space that I have available to me, which at times is a bit frustrating because I would like to be able to put it side by side to work, and that's probably why I tend to do a lot of single pages, but I can manage it, and I will work the space as I always manage to do. Now moving over here to the other side, and this one's a little bit different. The photos are on a smaller mat, but they go right across the page. So I could have cut down the red in the middle here, but I chose not to because I had no purpose for it, and it might as well just sit there. And I've got enough scraps that I didn't need to add any more to it. So I'm just lining up the blue. I will trim down those spare bits of white. I have a pad of paper that is really flimsy. It also has motifs and things on it that I will not use, so that's what I use as my backing when I'm creating layouts from scratch in pieces like this, and it's a great resource to have as a matting board. So I am just putting this one down so I can see the bulk of the structure of the double layout coming together. Now I do have those gaps there, but don't worry, I will be putting themed based embellishments in, and that will match the overall layout. When it's finished, you'll see that it all comes together beautifully. Now, as I said, I was using the reverse side of this blue paper here to cut out the circles, and these circles I'm going to tuck in underneath the yellow and white stripes, and that's going to give like the faux scallop edging. And I need 9 to go across the full length here. There will be a gap, but that doesn't matter because the round circular parts that she has embellishments, I actually have trimmed or cut my photos to be the circles. So all together I end up with 12 photos on this double layout, which is pretty good, I think. Now, as I said, these photos were taken before we went into the theatre to see Snow White recently. My daughters and I went to a girls' night in. It was the screening of Snow White, the movie, before its release date. The local cinemas have a girls' night out, and only the females go, of course, and it's always fun. And so my girls and I tend to do that to the movie releases that we want to see, and we go to the girls' night only. And so we were going to see Snow White, and we had some time to kill, and outside was this ride, and we had great fun getting on the Thomas the Tank ride, and we were laughing and having so much fun, and the people in the theatre at Hoyts, they were watching us and they were laughing along with us. You know, life's too short to be serious, so I encourage my girls to have a lot of fun. We were having heaps of fun on this ride. We were not, we weren't little. We didn't fit into the ride except for Cody, of course, because she's so thin and small. She fits into anything. But we had a fun time. But and there were some more photos which aren't on here, and I'll do a different layout because Beth and Lily both struggled with the movement, and both were very ill at the end of the ride from going around in circles, and so that added to the fun as well. So it was a bit funny. I suppose you had to be there. We were having a great time, but so I thought I wanted to capture this, and this was a perfect layout for it. It also is like Janine's one. Hers is about a ride, but of course at Disneyland, but ours was a ride at the shopping centre, so it was so much fun. Anyway, I've got these Thomas the Tank pieces from a 2006 paper from Sandy Lion. Oh my goodness, how old and out of stock is that? But I'm finally using pieces of that up here. I probably bought Thomas the Tank for my son, my youngest, who is now 23. So it's finally being used up on a layout. So on Janine's, she had these as cluster points and journaling points at the 3 places in her layout. So I actually have 3 of the trains that were on the ride. I took photos of them. I must have known that I was going to do something like this, and I've trimmed them down into the circles to be those 3 points, and that way we've got the trains on the layout as well. I'm putting in the labels in behind the cluster here so that I can go back and journal later. You will see that when you see the close-ups at the end that I did fill in those journaling spots. I'm layering up tickets because you have to have tickets to get on the ride, and well, you don't, not really, but it's just that thing. I also put in like little train tracks and as an embellishment there. I added the stars on foam tape. I'm now drawing in a messy border with the white gel pen, and for some reason it didn't like the red paper and really struggled to get it to work on the red paper. I have a lot of trouble with white gel pens. Sometimes they work really, really well, and then other times they don't want to work at all. So it's just very bizarre what the nib will work on and what it won't work on. So I'm glad it's a messy line and not meant to be a straight line, because that's okay, because I struggled with this pen working because of whatever reason. Didn't like someone. See, now it's working beautifully on the red. So go figure. Have no idea. Worked beautifully here, and then I hit the red here, and now it's not working again. And it's struggling to fill in the line. Very bizarre. No idea, no rhyme, no reason to it. It's just the way the nib works. I don't know. But anyway, it's got a messy border, and that's just added that little bit of extra touch to lift the colours here. And I really am pleased with how this has turned out. I cannot imagine that this was going to be such a good page when I first started it. I'm adding in Nuvo drops in the white just to put in the 3 clusters to fill them out. When you see the whole layout together, you will see that that is the visual triangle that draws your eye around the layout and to all of those photos. It does say you must ride this ride with adult supervision. So I told my girls, they're my children. I was the adult, so they had adult supervision. They're all adults. My children are all adults. How sad is that? But anyway, that's what we do when we do get together. We do strange and weird things like that as a group. Look, I knew I was going to knock that Nuvo drop, and there I've done it there. So I'm going to have to fix that section up with another set of Nuvo drops. I knew I was going to do that, but that's okay. It's all done now, and it's all neat and tidy. So I have played along with the rest of the crew today. I hope you go and check everybody out and see what they're doing. I always love watching what other people interpret from a layout. And it is May I Scraplift You month as well, so it's perfect. But we're lucky we get to scraplift someone every Sunday. And so don't forget to join us next Sunday when we are having a very special scraplift. And you'll have all the details then. We're having a celebratory scraplift. So I hope that you come back on Sunday to check it out. There is that cluster there. That's a photo, not just a sticker or an image. It's an actual photo, and I love how this came together. It is a great double, and it's nice and bright, and there it is in full, and you can see it. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check that playlist out down below. Go and see all the girls that are playing. We're up to 11. We've got a great crew happening now, and lots of different varieties of the same layout. It's always inspiring to watch and learn from other creators, and I do that every week because they always teach me something new. So I'm going to say, once again, if you like what I've done today, please give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know you like what I'm doing. Happy scrapping till next time, and I have a new video for you coming up real soon. See you over there.